Well, hi there. So, apparently, some people are running into some issues with the user interface on this game, and I will admit it is quite ridiculously confusing for some things. It can be unintuitive at first, but there's definitely quite a few people who, I guess, should be playing this game when they can, and it's an incredibly enjoyable game, and I'd like for them to be able to play the game. So I'm going to tell you how to play the game, or teach you, or whatever you wanna use for your magical word of the day. So start with the campaign. I'm not gonna deal with the Operation Hooper shit because it's ridiculous. We'll look at the Kharkov. I don't recall which one's defaults. I'm pretty sure it's the Pavlovkas and Rakitno maps. So we're just gonna go with. We'll go with this one. So obviously, to start the campaign, you're gonna click on this picture. Then this map district is gonna load up, and it's gonna show like where you are and where you're attacking, I guess. I really never pay attention to this. So if we see down here, it's snowing, it's nighttime, I don't know. I don't really look at those too much. Just operation statistics support. So yeah, we can turn that off, and we actually get this is our operational map and interface. We have these units, and basically the bright colored ones are the only ones that we can use. Everything that is the darker colors are in reserve, and they will become active at a later time. We can look at our statistics, and I mean, these all have tooltips so you can see what's going on. This is basically like kill counts and all of that crap. This will let you look at all of your squads and platoons and so on and so forth. And this is where you'll see, how many of them are there, how well on ammo they're doing, fuel, morale, what their rank is. You can see medals that they get. You can look at their casualties. You can look at their kills, so on and so forth. I guess I got Stug 3s, which is nice. And holy shit, we have Tigers and Panzer 3s in reserve. Alright, this is quite nice. So we'll go back here. Fortunately, I can't use any of those yet. It's really unfortunate, actually, but okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move these guys. Now, we want to attack this blue land, and obviously, if you looked at the this thing, we want to go there. So we're going to have these half-track squads. I'm going to left-click them, and then right-click to move, left-click, right-click to... See, even I fuck it up all the time. It's kind of unintuitive like that. Then once they move, they have this attack range, and you're going to want to attack a point. Now, see how I told them all to do different points, but they're all going to attack this one central point. And the way that battles work in this game is usually it's actually, so even though I'm focusing on this square, I think the way I have it set up is it's the 3 tiles near it, so it's basically going to be all of these tiles involved actually. So if they have units over here, I might end up fighting them, and if I had units all over in here and they weren't attacking this, they might still be in the battle anyways. So I want to move. Let's see these guys here, and we can have a second fight over here, but it actually might be linked. You definitely want to get as many people onto an attack as possible. Otherwise, chances are you might get absolutely screwed. So we have this set up. So that's that. So now what you want to do is you want to do next turn. Ally is going to make their moves, or the other team's going to make their moves. Then you hear that noise. So now it's time to go to one of these battles, and I want to focus on the one with the half tracks. But see this? So when I hover over it, you get these red dots popping up. That's everything that's going to be involved. So this infantry unit, oh, actually they are going to be attacking. They're going to be involved. But see, if I were to go to this fight, even though these two guys are not heading to that fight, they would be involved in the fight because they're right next to it. But again, yeah, sorry about that. Basically, the way that this program works is that it opens up a separate like window or directory, whatever, DirectX target for each of its various little sections. So you're going to come into the battle, and this might be what you'll see. Your unit tags might be set up so that it looks like that. I like to have the individual units on so that, I mean, these may be a little hard to see, but for example, you can see exactly where all of your infantry is in each of the little groups, whereas if you just have that, it's definitely far harder to see them, and it's more helpful for seeing the enemies too. This you don't really need to worry about. I usually like to take a lot of screenshots for this game. I find it to be a very cinematic game, so usually I have those off, but it'll tell you where you're gonna go. The way that these work is that you basically just want to swarm your units on them, as far as I'm concerned. It's basically like capture points. You want to have your units slaughter everything right there, and then you should be able to take that point. Each one of these major ones, or maybe all of them, is actually representing one of those squares on the map. So if we go back to the map, you can see how I had these squares and that we were attacking that, and that's going to be attacked later. But see, each one has the flag. So if we took this flag, that tile would then become ours, and I'm sure these would be connected and so on and so forth. Alright, so you start out with squad deployment though, and let's see, I'm not going to worry about these for right now. The way I usually like to do this is I'll just go through my platoons, and I'll be like, okay, where are you guys? You're right next to a point we're going to attack. You're facing it. That's fine. I don't really care about moving you. You guys are poised to go that way. You guys are also poised to go that way. And you guys are all the fuck way over here. You're poised to attack the river crossing, which will be interesting, actually. So, I mean, I already have my guys set up, but for example, if you wanted to move them, you would just select a guy and be like, I want you in that little square. And you could also point them and so on and so forth. But yeah, you know, I don't know. Usually it sets you up in a good enough starting position, but sometimes people want to move a lot of their shit around, and the fucking detail in this game is fantastic. The animations might not be as amazing as Combat Mission. They have absolutely amazing animations for all the troops and shit, but the textures and the details of this game are insane. Alright, so me personally, I think I'm all set up to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to push this, finish deployment. It's deploying. Alright, initial orders. The game is paused right now, but it is interactive. You can see this is going to be a night snow fight, and it's pretty fucking dark. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is basically you just want to set up your guys to start attacking. So these are all of our move orders. Now this looks like a huge fucking complicated mess, but it's not that bad actually, and everything has tooltips. So what I like to do is I like to do attack orders, because basically that just means it's like an attack move in terms of other RTSs. So I want to click that. Now this gives us all of these movement modifiers. Now this is really cool actually. So say I wanted to have my guys travel in squad column or platoon column. There you go, column formation. I can judge the spacing. This I would usually not use. That's actually like really big spacing. This is pretty good for being spread out. And then I could also have them separate into 2 or 3 columns with these buttons. So this is how many columns you want, or rows, or whatever. This is how much you want the spacing to be, and this is how you want your movement to be. So this would be column, this would be row, and this would just be free. So, for example, you can see the order that they're in already. They would basically just continue to move in that type of order. Where if it was these guys, again, they would stay in this weird fucking V-shaped order going that way in freeform. They wouldn't try to align themselves, basically. So we'll go back to that. This is going to allow them to move stealthily. I'm not exactly sure what that is off the top of my head and how that works. I imagine obviously they move slower. Half tracks will not turn the headlights on, but they only turn the headlights on when they go fast anyway, so I'm not exactly sure what else that would do. You can make them move along roads only, and that's really helpful for tanks and shit like that at times. This will put tanks in front of infantry. You don't always necessarily want to do that. I actually don't want to do that right now. And this will force it so that you may have a row formation here, but if you want them to move in column on the road, you can do that. And this will enable them to move fast, and then this will be a smoke dispersion thing if that's going on. But these are only infantry. Actually, I shouldn't even have to worry about the tank order. So, I want it set up like this. I want one row of decently spaced, but not too far spaced infantry to push onto this point. So, and I'll have them move fast, actually. So this is what I'm going to do. I want them to attack this point, basically. So I'm just going to right-click, hold down, have them face that way, and they're going to be all set to move and attack the shit out of that now. And this is everybody. I mean, you can select individuals and order them what to do as well. And you can actually get into really complex things and, for example, select that one half track, but you can select only the infantry by fucking around with other buttons. I'm not going to really get too far into stuff like that. So I want to select these guys too. And I do want them to get into a decent row formation as well. I like that. I don't want them to move as fast. I don't want the half tracks in front. I want them to just kind of hang out behind in this terrifying row of armored MGs, I guess. Alright, so we're all done with them. Yeah, if you ever want to zoom to anybody, you can right-click on one of the units. You can't right-click on the actual cards because that's when you get into this special select by thing, but either way, so those guys are going to be attacking Pavlovka. Let's have these guys attack East Pavlovka. Same order, except I do want these guys to move a little faster, and we'll have them get in this tree line. And then these guys are all the way over here. Now, I could have them like flank in and attack these guys, but I want to go for the river crossing. And also specifically about these guys is they're already really close to the river crossing, and they're going to be dealing with these trees. So what I actually want them to do is to make sure that they leave their half tracks. Let me zoom in. This is actually a assault weapon half track, but yeah, we'll have these guys leave, and they'll do it once the game is on pause, and we'll have them, I guess, do that. And I mean, that's all there is to it. My guys are all set up to move. In terms of all these other buttons, you can see that's the stop. That's just moving. Basically the same thing, except it's not going to be like if we encounter enemies, attack them and then move again. This is just going to be just fucking move. That's marching. I forget what that does again. This can have you set them up in defensive positions. This is setting priority targets. We might go over that if we encounter any tanks. I'll show you how. Basically what you can do with that is I can have, for example, I can select this assault weapon half track, and if there's a tank that comes out, what you would basically, you definitely want them to focus on that. You would select that, and then you're going to click and drag so that you select only that tank. It's going to target it. If it can see it, it'll show an X, and I'll show you all that if we get to that. You can have them fire in an area. You can have them face a certain direction. Again, yeah, this is dismount. I definitely want them all to dismount, and then there, I'm not sure if that's actually going to work in cohesion. This will toggle whether you want them to fire at will or not. This will toggle whether you want them to shoot at infantry or not. So if you have like assault guns or tanks and you don't want them to be shooting or launching shells at infantry, you want them to only focus on enemy vehicles, you could just toggle that, and that's what they'll do. This will set them to ambush mode. Basically what that does is infantry, I guess, will, in quotes, try to hide, and vehicles will shut their engine off, shut their headlights off. They'll batten down all the hatches. They'll basically just everybody will hide, and they'll get ready to ambush. And obviously that's dismount. That's get on or mount. That will be whether you want them to target aircraft or not, and this is a button that you can transfer these troops to AI control, so on and so forth. You don't need to worry about that. So that's that entire panel basically. And this is really straightforward too. And this is just how you open up this map, and you can control units on this map. I mean, you could play this like hardcore grog nerd, I guess. This will toggle whether when something's hit, you know, you get the hit text above it. It's going to be briefings. That's going to turn off the map overlay stuff. This is kind of cool. Sometimes it can be helpful. This shows you how commands are being laid out. So you can see that commands are coming all the way from over there from the actual, like, company commander. And then it goes to this platoon commander who's giving his orders to all of his platoon members. That'll also show that. That'll show all their targets and shit as well. I think what that also might do is show command ranges. Maybe not, though. I feel like they changed that button because they introduced this whole new wire communication form, and it's absolutely amazing. So if these guys see somebody, they will actually communicate it to everybody else via transmissions, and then these guys will know that there's something over there instead of these guys also having to see and or hear them and so on and so forth. But either way, good enough. We are good to go. We're going to unpause, and here they go. Now, we started really fucking close to some people, so I imagine we might actually run into some trouble real fast. You see, these guys dismounted. Headlights are not on because they're not going fast, so they're basically going to come out of the fucking woods like a bunch of crazy Germanic tribes. These guys are moving out. We actually don't have that point, but I really don't care. And as you can see, these guys are in a nice row. Pretty ridiculous row, actually, but it can be helpful. I don't think we're encountering anyone yet. So what you can do is you actually can speed the game up. And what's kind of cool about it is it's going to kill your frame rate, but it's also, it'll okay, see, ran into contact right here. We have all this infantry in the open right here. And these guys, you can see that they're transmitting communications and reporting all of this. I think this is the only enemy contact we've run into. Good. So got some guys over there. But yeah, these guys, I definitely want them to dismount. And then basically get into position there and start attacking. So all this infantry is going to dismount, and these guys are just going to have an absolute fucking hailstorm unleashing on them. We can see that we've already lost, they've already lost some guys. That's what these gray icons are. Maybe talking a bit louder because this game is really loud. And I feel the need that I might have to scream. Let's see, that's immobilized. It seems like they have some fucking anti-material rifles. This thing is getting slammed by whatever is going on over there. They have something scary over there. Key point taken. So we've taken Pavlovka over there. And we're not reporting any enemy contact. These guys are starting to run into some possible contact. So I'm going to have them keep moving. Now, these guys are starting to get into some more heavier shit. And considering that these guys have run into basically nothing, I'm going to have my infantry over here keep going for this, but these half-tracks, I'm actually going to pull them out and have them go for East Pavlovka. And I'm going to have them move fast. Because these guys are just going to keep slamming shit down. But as I was saying earlier before we ran into contact, the game will automatically either pause or go back to normal speed depending on what type of shit you run into. So you could speed the hell out of the game and wait for an event to pop up and it'll just automatically slow it back down for you. It's pretty damn nifty. We have a guy who just ran by another fucking... There's definitely something scary over here. What the hell do these fuckers have? Oh yeah! Those are definitely anti-materials. And they're using them quite well. Like, this thing is just getting slammed. But the MG gunner's still alive, and that's pretty good. I'm actually not sure if we have even lost anybody at all. So we have some guys over here that these guys are starting to run into. I'm going to have them dismount. That sounded a little heavy, whatever the hell that was. Oh, it might just be the assault gunners on this, actually. These infantry really have not run into anything. I have them get into 2 rows and also have them kind of go for the in-between of both of these. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like we lost it. Or at least the gunner is still alive. I don't know about any of the other guys. That's one of the half tracks gone. Oh, sometimes the view kind of glitches the fuck out. These guys, I don't know why they got into some weird off formation like that. These guys, I would imagine, have been doing pretty good, actually. Oh, let's actually get them to that river crossing. Right, we killed those guys, but there wasn't a lot there. Seems like all the defense might be around East Pavlovka. Oh yeah, there's a flare. Alright, so we took this, but there is a bunch of shit here. We're gonna have to deal with that. See if I turn orders on. Oh, yep, see, there we go. There's where all their targets are. The blue would be their movement, and orange would be their actual physical targets. Looks like we got guys over there, too. Let's have, oh shit, these guys are like right on top of them. That can be a bad thing. They're in the houses here. The thing about the Russians is that they have Molotovs, and they're very scary. The weapon on this is fucked, I think, and it's immobilized. So these guys are running into more anti-material rifles. These guys have a lot of anti-material rifles at their disposal. Retreating. I think we lost all of those guys right there. That looks like something big over there. I think there's an AT gun there. Gonna run into a bit of shit. There's definitely... Oh, yep. This one right here. They do have some fucking AATs. Just scary. Some guys are really close. He's trying to melee him, but I guess that's not working. Seems to have some trouble shooting him. So sometimes shit like this happens. It's pretty funny, but really shitty at the same time. Oh shit, these guys got slammed. Absolutely fucking slammed. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Oh, it's ours. What is that? Holy shit! We have a martyr? Did not think of that name for some reason, but holy shit, we have a martyr? And this fucking thing. I can't believe there's still somebody like driving it. The thing's been on fire. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Fucking Molotovs and shit. Wow, that guy is lucky. We're definitely running into some real issues here. We definitely need to get the infantry in here. These guys seem to have taken care of most of the problem. What we're going to have them do is we're going to have them start going towards these guys. These guys are doing pretty good too, I think. Have them just assault the woods a bit. But we're definitely having huge issues here. Well, these guys got a martyr too. Everybody have a martyr? Just these guys do, I think. It's definitely always helpful to have shit like that because there's so many times when a Russian will pull a fucking KV out of their ass. It's terrible. It's terrible too. They will slaughter everybody. Alright, so now these guys are in Fun Town. This squad is pretty much wiped out. These are like the only guys left. Have them kind of try to attack these guys. We'll have the infantry keep sweeping this side up. And no shit, you're under fire. There's enemies there. These guys are gonna run into these guys and so on. Alright, so there we go. That's the end of a fight. You can look at all these statistics here. I lost a lot of guys, and in a way, I lost more than he did. But I gained a lot of territory, and he lost territory for sure. And he has more casualties, but also more kills. Or no, those are his casualties. Sorry. So that's that. Now, what's really cool about this game is this statistics button after fight. So, say I wanted to look at, you know, what killed this guy. Well, I could select him, and I can look at every single thing that hit it that was like a, beyond like a regular bullet or round, I guess. This will basically, anything that has actually penetrated, it'll keep track of. So these guys definitely got Molotov'd, because as you can see, these things didn't do shit. Look at, I'm sure this guy got Molotov too, but yeah, look at this. So obviously, to a half track, a regular large caliber machine gun has a lot more chances of doing things, as well as they had a shitload of anti-material rifles, and they peppered the fuck out of this thing. But a lot of it did nothing. You can see this one knocked out the light. It'll say it right there. This one took out the gun. What the fuck was that? That was a grenade, I think. Gun. These all actually damaged the engine a bit. It's gun something something. Countermeasures maybe, but that doesn't make sense. I don't think these have countermeasures. Radio. Let's see, those got peppered. So you can look at this, and you can look around, and it also allows you to see all of their shit. So you can see what they actually had. I mean, as you can see, we took out everything over here. There's a decent sized amount of guys there. But yeah, mainly their defense was definitely in this town, although they had a lot of shit over here as well, and I guess they were coming to try and take Pavlovka back. But see, we actually did not keep that, that was a mistake on our part for sure. But yeah, it's usually a little more interesting when you actually have tanks and shit on both teams. You can really look at some cool shit like that. But yeah, that is this game in most terms. So we're done. What we do is we click operation, and it's going to take us back here. So you can see it kind of calculated things like these all got broken, so on and so forth. It shows what happens. So as you can see, we were, I don't know actually, but they had some guys kind of take those, I guess. These are really small groups, and they're encircled. They'll be incredibly easy to cut off and deal with. So we dealt with that. We took that. We had shit here. We moved in. We had some guys kind of help with that. You're done with that fight, and you're going to click next turn. So now this fight actually was kind of skipped in a way. I'm not 100% sure why, but it was. Now, it appears that they're attacking us here, and I guess these will be able to help us. But that's about it. But, either way, that's this game. Thanks for watching.